Hey guys, what's up? My name is Dylan Hargraves. Welcome back to my channel. So if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. And if you like the video, hit the like button. We would really appreciate it. So today's video, I'm comparing two cameras. And the first camera is my 90D, which is my personal camera. And the second camera is this 2000D or 27R. So the first thing you'll notice with these cameras is that there's a big price gap. The 90D comes in at about $1,200, whereas you can pick one of these up for about $400 off of Amazon with lenses included. So these are really cheap and these are more expensive. I'm only really going to be talking about the main differences between these cameras today, nothing too fancy. So the first thing is obviously the megapixels. Obviously, when you talk to someone about cameras, the first thing they ask you is how many megapixels does it have? Now, as a photographer, it doesn't really matter how many megapixels it has. I mean, you can get a good camera that has 12 megapixels. For example, the Sony A7 and S2. Those only have 12 megapixel sensors and they're still really good cameras. So megapixels don't really matter, but people still want to know what megapixel the camera is because that basically defines how good your camera is. So on the 90D, we have 33 megapixel APS-C sensor, and on the 2000D, we've got a 24 megapixel APS-C crop sensor. So they're both crop sensors, neither of them are full frame, but that's okay because for what they're doing, they don't need to be full frame. Just one more thing talking about crop. Please excuse the bars on the side of this lens. This is my cell phone. I'm recording with the Galaxy Note 9 and I'm using a lens on it and this doesn't fit perfectly, so it's kind of wonky. Alright, give me 1 second, I just need to have a drink. Alright, so the second thing you'll notice with these cameras is the size difference. So that is a major difference between these two cameras. The Canon 90D is 701 grams, really big camera, whereas the 2000D is only 450 grams, I think that's right. And it's fairly small. Like you can see my pinky on this one doesn't really fit properly, whereas 90D fits perfectly. See? 90D is definitely a lot more comfortable to hold. It feels better, feels more professional, it just feels more compact and solid, whereas this kind of just feels more plasticky and kind of cheap. But it doesn't matter, it's still a camera, it still gets good shots, and that's what's important, right? There are a lot more features in the 90D, like the fact that you get better video recording quality. So you get 4K on the 90D, whereas you only get 1080p on the 2000D. And you can only do 1080p at 60 frames a second, whereas on here, you can do 1080p at 120 frames a second, which is what you want for slow motion video recording. So if you do filmography, cinematography, this is the camera you're going to want to buy because you're going to be able to put it in slow motion and get super cool, nice B-roll shots, which is what you want, right? The next thing is focus points. The Canon 90D's got 45 focus points and the RebelT only has 9. So it's quite a big difference. You do notice it in the field. I took both the cameras out and did a few shots that I'll show you guys at the end of the video. And I did find that the RebelT had a little bit of a hard time trying to focus, especially when it started getting darker. It was really struggling to pick up the focus and it was just really slow. Sometimes it would miss focus and you just have that whole thing, you know what it's like. And whereas a 90D just like focuses and it's instant, it's just so fast, and that's what you really want if you guys can afford to buy the better camera. It definitely does make a difference and it does help out a lot when it comes to taking photos. It's much faster. Next thing when it comes to speed is obviously the frame rate. This thing only has a 3 frames per second shutter, so you can only shoot 3 frames a second on this camera. This is the RebelT, whereas on the 90D you can do 11 frames a second. It's quite a big gap. You can get a lot faster shots with the 90D. Compared with the focus points, if you're doing wildlife photography and you're shooting fast moving animals and you're trying to lock focus and stuff, the 90D is a better option, whereas this is going to be very difficult to get focus and also very difficult to try and keep up. So sports photography, wildlife photography, all that kind of stuff, the 90D is a much better option. Obviously the biggest difference between these two is going to be the price. If you guys can afford the better camera, obviously it's a better camera to get. This one, if you're just taking photos, if you're just a landscape photographer, you just want to get into it, if you're just a hobbyist, you're learning about photography, this isn't a bad camera. I learned on a 1300D, which is the one before this one. It was a very cheap camera. It cost me about 6,000 Rand in South Africa, which is it's about $300, so it's really cheap. And it was my first camera, and I built my Instagram up with it. So from 0 to about 6,000 followers. Speaking of which, if you guys aren't already following me, links down in the description. You guys can go follow me on Instagram, check out my content. Really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much if you do that. You guys rock. So yeah, another thing that's a difference is also when talking about speed is that the 90D has got the ability to use UHS-2 cards, which means you can write stuff to this camera much faster, and it's important when you're doing stuff like 4K, because 4K is a very high codec. You want to be able to put it to the camera fast, because otherwise it can't record in 4K. So you need a fast card to be able to shoot in 4K. If you actually put a cheap small card in this thing and it's not UHS-2, it does kind of have issues with the 4K. I've had it before where it couldn't do 4K because it just, the memory card wasn't capable of writing fast enough. So you do need a faster card in order to get those better codecs. But this one only needs UHS-1 cards, so it doesn't have all those features anyway. You don't really need the super fast cards if you're not really going to be doing anything super fast. If you need more professional work done and you're getting paid for it, I would recommend getting a 90D. But if you're just learning how to do photography and you just want to get in and start taking photos and you only have a couple of $100 to spend on a camera, I would recommend this one. It's really cheap and yeah, it's a decent camera. 24 megapixels is quite high. So for stills, it's pretty good. You can get these printed and everything. It's just that it's not as good. I went and did a shoot the other day to compare the two cameras. It was just a sunset shoot to see which one handled the low light better, see which one handled the colors better, which one will just give you a better picture. And I'll throw them onto Lightroom and I'll show you guys what they look like. I'll just throw a quick slideshow up and you guys can see what you think. I'll put one on one side, one on the other side. You guys can guess which camera was which. And let me know in the comments which one you thought was the 90D and which one you thought was the 2000D. And yeah, it will be interesting to see which one you guys think is which. So yeah, let's see. Alright, so did you guess right? Did you know which one was the 2000D? Did you guess it? Alright, well, it'll be interesting. I'm going to be checking the comments just to see what you guys think. I definitely noticed while shooting with the cameras that there's a big difference in terms of trying to get the shot fast. This one definitely didn't struggle. On the 90D, it was you just click the button and it would take the picture and it looked good every time. Whereas with the 2000D, it was like, it was like trying to focus and I was doing the focus thingy, the focus noise, that one, doing that the whole time. I didn't want to focus. Low light was out, it was battling with the ISO. High ISO, it seemed to get a lot more noise on the 2000D, whereas the 90D, you can push it up to, I think 6400 is the highest I've gone so far in here, without seeing any noise. So that's quite impressive. Whereas this one maxes out at 6400. 6400 is the max ISO you can get on this thing. But you don't want to go anywhere near. If you buy this camera, I wouldn't recommend going over 800 because you're going to start seeing noise at close to around 800. That's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like button, I would really appreciate it. Just smash it, punch it in the face, make it red. I think it goes red. Wait, let me see. Okay, it goes blue. Damn. Okay, we'll beat it blue. There you go. Go beat the button blue. Go beat it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Cheers.